Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a daily coin analysis on COTI. I am investigating this coin and it has done very strongly the last few weeks. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. So we will investigate COTI on the 1 week, and this coin has absolutely skyrocketed in February. This was a coin that really has not too much price history relative to other altcoins. I mean, in 2020, you saw this weekly level. I mean, the levels aren't even super clean in my opinion either. You saw a weekly level at pretty much 2 cents, and it basically was contained and consolidated all throughout the summer of 2020, and then it had its big run in the late summer, dumped as all altcoins did in the fall of 2020, and then it had a rounded bottom reversal. And what you saw here in the fall was this was basically a consolidation period where price has a rounded bottom, and this type of reversal pattern is pretty common. You also see several other patterns as well for many other altcoins. You see like accumulation patterns like this. And for altcoin BTC pairs, you will see price action like this, where it's like a V-shaped reversal, and it'll just rebound very quickly. But this was a rounded bottom reversal for the USD pair, and then it really started to take off strongly in February, where many other altcoins that led were dumping, stuff like Alpha and Aave. Those coins were pulling back in February, but because this one didn't really move super hard, this really is skyrocketing here. So I mean, it's gone even from February 1st, the peak, I mean, 800 or almost 900%. That's incredible. So what does this look like on the daily here? I mean, I'm basically just going to use recent price action. You probably have to even go on smaller time frame charts. Is this the top? I mean, it's still a very bullish chart, no matter how you cut this coin. Usually these big swing high points will act as significant levels, so expect some sort of reaction in my opinion if price gets up there, and it looks like it will go up to 60 cents and then see what happens. Now, it does also depend on how price gets there, so if you see something like this, like you see some slow grinding, then you won't see as strong of a reaction in my opinion. With that said, if you see price action like this, where price just blitzes up, then I think you will generally see some sort of bigger pullback for price action like that with these swing high levels. But I mean, this is still an undeniably bullish chart. I mean, it's just been very strong. One thing to be somewhat concerned about is there is some high sell volume over here the last week or so, but price still is grinding up here, and it's still incredibly bullish. I mean, you can use trend lines, you can use EMAs. I mean, it's just basically been fairly consistent with this EMA, and EMAs, it looks like the 50 EMA on the 4-hour has provided some pretty solid entries, but in my opinion, this isn't really necessarily the perfect area to buy at. In my opinion, I think that there are some lower levels that you can target, especially if this 60 cents area is resistance, as I think it will be. And if you look at the daily chart, I mean, this is still very strong in terms of the overall movement. So a deeper pullback won't surprise me if and when it comes. And again, it really depends on what type of setups you like to take. Sometimes people like to take breakout trades. I mean, I know several of my friends like to take breakout trades where, for instance, this is a prime example right here. price hit a swing high, hit above it, and just consolidated beneath this resistance level at 22 cents. And when you see price start to make higher lows while consolidating near resistance, this is generally a bullish sign, and you can just basically use trend lines or EMAs or whatever you use, and just go ahead and buy at the resistance area, and assume this is going to go up. And it obviously depends on the context too. Coins have to be in a bullish market structure, of course, for this to be bullish. And this was a good breakout trade right here. That said, I think that this type of price action right here it's not bearish by any means. It's still bullish, as I said, but this is not the type of setup that I personally like to take. I certainly think this is going to keep grinding up until 60 cents. I just don't know how price is going to get there. Regardless, this entire market structure is still very, very bullish. Be slightly concerned about this high sell volume, but it's just still something to watch. Again, I wouldn't be surprised to see this have a deeper pullback, but because this already had a somewhat decent pullback from 60 cents all the way back down to 30 cents, and you can use a fib for that if you want. So look right there. This was basically the 786 fib region, and I'm sure there are some micro levels if you scroll down to low time frame charts. So actually this was just a big wick here. But yeah, this is the overall fib that I would use, and price basically pretty much bounced from the 786 or the 32 cents mark of this area. How did I get the fib? I used this first impulse move, and you could potentially go lower too. I mean, fibs are subjective, like any of these other charts. Like, if I lower the fib here, it goes to the 618. If I lower it all the way to the bottom, it goes to the 0.5. So really, fibs are subjective in general, and you can really use them in a lot of different ways. You can use them. They're great for scalping too, on like 1 minute or 5 minute or 15 minutes, whatever you want. They're also great on high time frame charts. Personally, I like to use them on high time frame charts a little bit more myself, but that's just more my trading style. I like to wait for price to come down, and this would have been a good setup for me, just doing a high time frame fib. But regardless, what do I see for COTI in the short term? I see this grinding up to 60 cents and then viewing the reaction at that point. High time frame analysis, I mean, whenever you see a coin go into price discovery like this, there's really not much to say about it. You could basically use a fib extension if you like, and this will give you some new targets. Certainly a possibility that if 60 cents is broken, 677 and 72 would be the next area up, and we'll just observe then. But for me personally, this is not the area to buy. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this maybe hit like a short-term double top. In terms of overall like fundamentals, I really actually don't even know what COTI does. I think it's like a blockchain, but this is just TA only. So that's my analysis on COTI USD. Let's look at the BTC pair briefly. This chart is a little more pronounced. I mean, as other coins did very strongly in the summer, this one was no different with the COTI BTC pair. And then it had a massive, massive run down as Bitcoin was very strong. Since that time, it looks quite strong in my opinion. And this kind of like was a kind of like a cup and handle reversal pattern. So something like this. Oh. Cup and handle kind of reversal pattern where you see a rounded bottom followed by a move up, pull back with making a higher low, and then price takes off. And this has just been extremely strong overall. Like, this basically blasted through former all-time high levels at the what is that, 780 Satoshis area, and then it came back down, and now price is just basically rebounding. I mean, I think you still have to be bullish in general on the USD pair just because this pair looks pretty good. But how this price reacts to this area will determine, to the 950 Satoshis area, will determine how the USD pair goes, in my opinion. So like, if we see this start to pull back, then obviously the USD pair probably will pull back as well for the most part. And if the Bitcoin pair does something like this too, where it keeps going higher, and then this is just kind of a deviation from this range high, then again the USD pair will grind up to 60 cents and then it will come back down. So overall, this is a very interesting area to watch on the BTC pair around 950, 960 Satoshis. And it is at resistance now, but just closely watch the price action, in my opinion. If you start to see something grinding up, consolidation, then it looks pretty good. But if this starts to reject, then I expect the USD pair to reject as well. So overall, this still looks really high time frame bullish, though. I mean, you can't really argue otherwise, in my opinion. And I still expect stronger moves from COTI, but a bigger pullback is something that I'm watching. I mean, this big pullback right here from basically 950 all the way back down to 550, this might have been the quote-unquote pullback that you were looking for. And then now price is just going to maybe have a short-term pullback now and then keep moving up. But when you see these big runs, these deep pullbacks are the ones to buy, generally speaking. The fact that it was able to break 850 sats is nice, but this is really the true test here of 950, 960. You really want to see price break this area convincingly. Otherwise, you will often see coins make these like short-term double tops before heading lower. So like this was a prime example right here where price goes up, big decent retracement, grind up, break the swing high, and then it starts to come down. So that's kind of what you saw here at the 725 Satoshis area, where this was the former swing high. People were very excited about it, and then it just heads all the way back down. And this was just kind of like a last exhaustion pump. So basically what you're looking for here is you want to see a clean, convincing break of this 950 area. I mean, it's still high time frame bullish, but this is really the key area that I'm watching right now. It wouldn't surprise me that COTI did take a break, though, because it has done very well the last few months. And many other altcoins, such as Aave and other decentralized finance coins, have been taking a break. So I think it's those types of coins that are going to be running here in the next little bit here. But overall, yeah, I'm still pretty bullish on COTI for now. But let's just see. I mean, it wouldn't really... I am more expecting, honestly, a deeper pullback, to be frank and honest. But like high time frame, I'm still bullish. And even a deeper pullback doesn't necessarily mean it's bearish. Like even if this hits up here and then it consolidates for like, you know, a few weeks and then it goes back up, that's still a bullish market structure. So don't get caught up when crypto Twitter people talk about bearish and bullish. I mean, bearish and bullish really just depends on the context that you're talking about. I mean, right now in the 1 minute, it can be like super bullish. I mean, this is bullish on all time frames, but you know, a 1 minute market structure might look different than a 1 hour, which will look different than the 4 hour and different than the 1 day, et cetera, et cetera. So just understand the context that chartists are talking about and analysts, and don't get too caught up on bullish or bearish. Just understand the context of the chart and what they're talking about. So high time frame, I'm just considering this to be bullish, and if this pulls back, it's still going to be bullish as long as this forms a higher low, which I expect it will, and then another move up. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of COTI. Thank you for watching.